What's up everyone, this is FP Sticks bringing you some Go Battle League battles here in the Great League, and in today's video I'm going to be running probably the most fun Venusaur team that I've run before, and my apologies, a big shout out to the trainer that I first encountered in Go Battle League running this team. I can't remember their name. All I remember is that I was battling and I went up against this person running Venusaur, REGIROCK, and Galarian Stunfisk. And I just completely stole this team and thought, man, I had to try this. I just recently was able to get a pretty decent Shadow Venusaur, and so I decided to run Shadow Venusaur in the lead, and this REGIROCK is actually a legacy REGIROCK with Earthquake and Stone Edge as the charge moves. Earthquake you do have to use an elite charge TM on. We already know that Venusaur and G-Fisk make an amazing core, and REGIROCK essentially has very similar coverage as G-Fisk, especially if you give it Earthquake. So we're going to jump right into these battles. You can see my elos around the mid 3400s, so really solid opponents in this leaderboard range here. This first battle's up against House Stark, who's a really talented battler. Most of the time I'm gonna be safe swapping my REGIROCK, and my opponent switches in Shadow Venusaur here, which is gonna be tough for REGIROCK. REGIROCK is kind of interesting in the fact that it feels less bulky than Registeel, but it is nice that you get to the Stone Edges very, very quickly. Obviously, rock typing is nowhere near as defensively impressive as Steel is. You don't resist as many things. But REGIROCK is very fast getting to those Stone Edges. I'm able to put his Venusaur very low and able to farm it down, get some energy there. Unfortunately, he has a Shadow Canine in the back, so this is looking very, very rough for me. I lay on the Sludge Bomb, and then I'm going to go into my Stunfisk here. But that Wall Rain is going to be a big problem. Looks like he was getting some lag there. Really unfortunate lag because it allowed me to mudshot him all the way down, and still to this day in Go Battle League you never know if it's like visual lag or if the opponent's actually lagging. Sometimes it happens to you, sometimes it happens to your opponent. So in general I kind of just try to keep tapping. But it looks like he definitely lost some fast moves here. He's still going to be able to take this game. Really well played to him. He's barely able to get to this Icicle Spear, and the Shadow Canine in the back, definitely tough against my G-Fisk there. Good game. By the way, it's been a while since I posted a video. We are deep into the marching band season right now. I'm a high school band director, so I've been very, very busy with that. It's been going great. I just don't have nearly as much time to content create. So if you do appreciate this content, make sure to like and comment and subscribe. My REGIROCK is stuck against an Obstagoon here, but most people know that REGIROCK does have access to Focus Blast, and so I build up to Focus Blast energy and then bait with the Stone Edge. At this point, I'm just trying to do as much chip damage as possible, but they end up double shielding their Obstagoon. So all I need to do is land one Frenzy Plant here, but I do want to have some residual energy. They swap back in the Lickitung, and they preserve their Obstagoon, which is really, really rough for me, because now my G-Fisk is eventually going to have to see that Obstagoon again. So my opponent made a really nice read that this might be double weak to counter in the back, and they ended up preserving their Obstagoon. I'm going to swap to my G-Fisk here, and I'm thinking if I can build up enough energy to reach an Earthquake against that Obstagoon, we're looking pretty good here. I might even just fully commit to the farm down here on this Lickitung. In the back is a Wall Rain. I have to be very careful with my energy management here. I need to land 2 Rock Slides on this Wall Rain. I know that I do lose the CMP tie, so I cannot overfarm too much. Down goes the Wall Rain, out comes the Obstagoon, and they end up throwing energy. All I need to do is get to a Frenzy Plant to be able to take this thing out. Venusaur from Frenzy Plant from Shadow Venusaur hits like a truck. Barely not enough to take out the Obstagoon, but we're able to farm it down, and out comes the Lickitung, and they had a move stored. Amazing plays by my opponent there. Really smart read on them saving the Obstagoon there. Good game. Another Lickitung lead, And the thing with Lickitungs in the lead is that typically they're going to have like a Medicham in the back. Sometimes they have a Nidoqueen in the back. There's the Medicham. You see that I actually opt to use my G-Fisk on the safe swap this time. And if this Medicham does not have Dynamic Punch, we can actually win this in the Zero Shield because they were so slow to the response. They're most likely going to shield once, farm me all the way down. But they end up giving me switch advantage, which that's nice, but unfortunately REGIROCK is going to kind of struggle against this Lickitung that has loaded energy. So I have to try to predict what is in the back. Why would they stack their Medicham like that? I'm still not completely sure. They ended up having double fighters in the back, but they totally just gave me switch advantage. So now Venusaur needs to put in a lot of work against this Surfetched here. Obviously, one Frenzy Plant would pretty much one-shot this Surfetched from this Shadow Venusaur. Need to get all the shields down. Surfetched does outpace Venusaur to these moves. Able to get a Vine Whip through. Have to shield this up, and I know that their Lickitung has so much energy stored. The unfortunate thing here is that I'm most likely going to get farmed down by the Lickitung. My Switch Clock barely comes up, and I end up catching a Body Slam on my REGIROCK. I wonder if my opponent lost track of my energy or something, because it's kind of surprising that they threw right away. I'm able to get to this Stone Edge, but we get some mutual lag here. This is not going to be enough to knock out this Lickitung, but it ended up being a CMP tie, and now I should be able to Vine Whip down. So if they wouldn't have thrown that Body Slam immediately, they definitely would have won that game, because double Power Whip on the REGIROCK at that health range would have taken it out. Another Lickitung lead. Holy cow. So I've played this a little bit differently. Sometimes I throw a Frenzy. Sometimes I swap immediately. I still haven't really decided how I like to play those situations out, but we are met by a Scrafty. I do like saving energy on Venusaur because oftentimes if they do have a fighter, it's going to come out here and then I can win the CMP tie. I cannot believe that they no-shielded that Stone Edge, by the way, because that could have been a Focus Blast, but they called my bait and they played it perfectly. We're now in a very tough spot here. They led Licky. They have Scrafty in the back. They're also kind of weak to a fighter. I let that Foul Play go through, and I'm just hoping that G-Fisk can sweep in the back. I'm anticipating a Nidoqueen. There it is. So I'm going to throw a Frenzy, and I need to swap out of here so I can eventually clear my debuff. They bring in the Lickitung. This G-Fisk has to take out essentially a full health Licky and a full health Nidoqueen. Obviously, if I can get shields down, all I need to do is land one Earthquake on the Nidoqueen and it will go down. But Earth Power is far more threatening than the Power Whip. Really nice shield on my opponent's part as well, recognizing that since Licky is so bulky, it's unlikely that I would go for the bait on the first move. I let this Body Slam go through, and I need to stay over farmed here to guarantee that I can get to a Earthquake. They might try to catch. I'm actually just going to go straight for the Rock Slide here. I have a little bit of residual energy. And out comes the Nidoqueen once again. I need to get to this Earthquake. I know they're going to go straight Poison Fang, but I have to shield it. And we are barely able to get to this Earthquake and take that game. That was really tough. I still to this day cannot believe that they no-shielded that Stone Edge. Really nice play on their part. Venusaur into Hisuian Quillfish. Not good at all. Gonna swap the REGIROCK here. Now, most people, when they see a REGIROCK come out, it takes them a little while to respond to it because REGIROCK is such a unique pick. Most people aren't ready for it. Now, in this situation, I'm just going to go straight Earthquake, and 2 Earthquakes plus the lock-on damage can be threatening to this Medicham. And I really want to win switch advantage. I do end up getting a shield there, and I'm recognizing that I'm not going to be able to get to Earthquake, so I just throw Stone Edge. Are they counting? I get both shields in that matchup. Really good for me, but this energy that Medicham has stored is going to be pretty devastating for my Venusaur. I shield up the Psychic, that's good. I can't get too greedy here. Luckily, they hard swap. Once again, predicting that I'm going to have two things weak to counter in the back, so nice play on their part. These Aqua Tails will add up over time, but these Poison Jabs are doing absolutely nothing to my G-Fisk here. I know that this Quillfish is pretty glassy, but I'm just going to go straight for the Earthquake to knock this out. I try to undercharge it to get a little bit more farm. It doesn't work. It's a Trevenant in the back, and this is awful because Trevenant will win the CMP tie against Venusaur, and one Sludge Bomb doesn't one-shot it. It would knock it out from here, but I do not have the energy stored. So my opponent played very, very well there. I actually technically barely survived that Shadow Ball, but holy cow, it does so much damage. Here we go. Oh man, Shadow Vic in the lead. In the 2 shield, this is actually not good for Venusaur, surprisingly. Even though you outpace to these charge moves, if they like land an Acid Spray, the Razor Leaf damage is just too oppressive here. So most likely this is going to be an Acid Spray. They actually end up going for Leaf Blade though, so I end up shielding that up. And then I'm going to go straight for the Sludge Bomb here and see what they want to do. They let it go. I'm anticipating a Bastiodon. There it is. I bank a Frenzy Plant and then swap to Regirock. Again, storing the Frenzy Plant there is really, really crucial because if there is a fighter in the back, Venusaur is going to be able to win the CMP tie and not have to get hit by that energy there. So out comes the Medicham. We're going to try to get to 2 Earthquakes here once again. And this is a Pup Medi. And they're throwing their energy right away. That's totally fine. I end up shielding this Power Up Punch because I want to get their final shield. And then hope that I can land this Frenzy before they swap back into their Bastiodon. They let their Medicham go, and we have a G-Fisk, and that is GG's. Feels good to counter the Bastiodon. Altaria lead, this is absolutely terrible. I'm once again going to bank a move, and then I swap to G-Fisk here. They counter swap with the Deoxys, and this is actually totally fine by me. I end up going for a Rock Slide bait, and I get a shield. However, I still need to land an Earthquake and a Rock Slide here, but it's good that I was able to get a shield on an early move. There's the Earthquake. If I can win switch advantage here, that's obviously really, really good. I don't want to have to shield any of these charge moves from the Deoxys. I can either win switch here or have a 2 shield advantage, both of which is very, very good for me. So they end up double shielding and they're going to throw their energy. I'm definitely going to let this go. And they Psycho Boost me. The issue here is that Psycho Boost is still going to hurt from Deoxys. So I'm able to throw this Frenzy Plant and just get rid of it. Hopefully double shielded Regirock can sweep what is in the back. What is it going to be? Out comes the Altaria. And it's a Nidoqueen, and this is where having Earthquake is so amazing. But they're going straight Poison Fang because they know that the Dragon Breath damage is really going to add up. So that's a really solid play on their part. I'm going to go for Earthquake here. I have to land 2 Stone Edges to take out that Altaria. I do not want to have to spend a shield here, so I just get rid of the Nidoqueen. This Dragon Breath damage is really going to add up. Going to be able to get to the first Stone Edge here. And I swap into my Venusaur, but they already know that it's over. Double shielded Regirock, able to close out that game. Good game. Deoxys in the lead. So they typically Psycho Boost and then leave. I'm going to hold on to my energy this time around, and they're really farming up. Going to throw a Frenzy Plant here and see what they want to do. I end up getting a shield on the CMP tie, but they get to 2 Psycho Boosts before I get to 2 Frenzies. I'm going to throw again here. They keep throwing on the CMP tie. That's totally fine by me. And they're able to survive it. Typically, it's like a Wall Rain in the back. Gonna shield. There's a Wall Rain. And it's going to be a CMP tie right here, but they opt to go for the farm down, which is really nice. I need to get into my... I actually end up going into G-Fisk because I'm recognizing that the Vine Whip damage hopefully put this in range of 1 Rock Slide. It's actually a little bit past 1 Rock Slide range, and I want to get as low as possible so they get minimal farm with whatever they're going to bring in. Down goes the Wall Rain. In the back is an Alolan Ninetales, and Regirock loves to see this. Once again, because of the rock typing, we're not resisting the charm damage like Registeel would, but we're able to do a lot of damage with the Stone Edge. There's the Weather Ball, and there's the Deoxys. We swap into Venusaur, able to farm it down, and we're able to take that game there. Good game. Venusaur and a Swampert. You absolutely love to see this. Out comes a Walrein, and I've learned from previous matches you need to do like 2 Vine Whips with the Venusaur just to make this a little bit more comfortable of a matchup. And ideally you want to throw that Stone Edge as soon as possible so you can get an idea of where they want to spend their shield. I barely survived that Earthquake, and I'm able to lock on them down. Out comes the Swampert. We're going to get some nice chip damage here with Stone Edge, and we have everything aligned. If it is a well, you notice that I come in immediately to punish the desynced switch clocks here. I will shield up once, and it's an Alolan Ninetales in the back. Holy cow, they are incredibly weak to Venusaur. Gonna throw one Frenzy here, but this game is so over. Gonna throw another Frenzy. I might not even reveal the G-Fisk, we'll see. But they're gonna get, I try to catch a move, and then at that point they know that the game's over there. Good game. Okay, Cavalier, excuse me, we are triple weak to this thing. So I'm going to swap into my G-Fisk and try to get any chip damage I can on this thing. But this is definitely a core breaker. This is like the worst possible thing that I could see. Obviously, Trevenant in the lead is also a little bit sketchy. Kanto Ninetales in the lead is pretty tough. But I need to get all the shields off of this Cavalier here, and then I know that one Stone Edge will knock it out. Gonna be able to get to a Rock Slide. I do have back-to-back. I get a shield there, and then they catch an Earthquake on their Walrein. Amazing play. I am in such a terrible situation here because their Cavalier has loaded energy now. And that thing is just going to completely sweep my team. I'm trying to overfarm as much as I can on this Walrein because I need to be able to reach a Stone Edge against that Cavalier, but it is not looking good, folks. It is not looking good at all. Down goes the Walrein. Please bring in the Cav so I can Stone Edge it. But no, they bring in a Dedenne? What in the world is this team? This was like the spiciest team I have ever run into. That's where Earthquake is so clutch. Out comes the Cavalier. I get farmed down, and there is just no hope here. If I could have gotten to Frenzy Plant, maybe, even though it's double resisted. But yeah, Cavalier, definitely a core breaker. My opponent played very, very well as well. One more battle in this video. Sableye lead. The CMP tie against Sableye is IV dependent. So depending on how XL their Sableye is and what their IVs are, sometimes I win the CMP tie here, sometimes I lose it. But Frenzy Plant is far more devastating to Sableye than Foul Play is to Venusaur, but you can see the Shadow Claw damage is really adding up. I'm going to catch on Regirock here, so I have a move banked, recognizing that I lose CMP, and out comes a Nidoqueen! Normally, Nidoqueen would totally wall Regirock, but I'm able to get to this Earthquake. Do they expect it? See you later, Nidoqueen. Out comes the Sableye and Regirock. I'm really hoping that I barely survive this Foul Play. No. So that's unfortunate. I kind of have to make a guess on what is in the back. Potentially a Registeel. I've seen Sableye, Nidoqueen, Registeel a lot. So we'll see what they have. And I tried to catch another move. It is a Registeel, and we are looking very good. We have the alignment exactly where we need. Let me know down in the comments what teams have you been enjoying in the Go Battle League. We only have a couple days left of the season, so I am very excited to see what move updates are going to be coming for next season and how that's going to affect the meta. Great League especially needs somewhat of a shakeup. We need some new stuff. It's getting kind of stale, but I appreciate everyone watching. Thank you so much. Make sure to like, comment, and subscribe, and I'll see you in the next video.